Sup, this is Alex Chu. Coming at you with another episode. This episode, I want to teach white folks, white people, how to make traditional, something very close to traditional Japanese ramen at home using dry noodles, Uh, yeah, it's very difficult to make, Japanese style, traditional Japanese style ramen at home. I'm not talking about instant ramen. I'm talking about the real deal. Like the real dry noodle, or it's very, very difficult. Okay, I'm gonna explain why later. Before I talk about that, I want to tell you my name is Alex Chu. I'm the guy who invented physical mortality rings. These are rings that you put on your small fingers during sleep. You wear them, you don't age anymore. You become physically immortal. For example, I'm already 51. See, I still look very young. My belly is still really smooth and skinny. I only weigh 150 pounds. Um, if you go to my website, livemuchlonger.com, I have lots of testimonials from my website. Most of them give me 4-star, 5 stars. So if you want to look like me when you're 51, livemuchlonger.com, livemuchlonger.com. Link is at the bottom of this video. I'm hooked on alcohol. I'm an alcoholic. I drink whiskey. And I'm also hooked on ramen. I have to eat ramen every day. Every night, I eat ramen for dinner. I'm not talking about instant ramen. I'm talking about something very close to traditional Japanese style ramen. The Japanese homemade ramen, right? The stuff that you eat at a ramen ya. But here's the thing. I watch a lot of cooking videos, right? These white people, a lot of white people are learning to enjoy ramen, but the problem is they're eating instant ramen. They're buying these instant ramen from a store. And right now, wow, recently instant ramen is so expensive. It's like $1.50 per pack. Jesus, and I'm not saying that they don't taste good, but hey, come on, you can't eat that shit every day, right? So what I do is I eat traditional Japanese style ramen. Every day at home I eat traditional Japanese style ramen using dry noodles. Um, I mean, honestly speaking, the only way to eat ramen that tastes like the one you buy in the ramen store, you go to Japantown, or you go to a Japanese restaurant that serves ramen. The only way to eat, the stuff that tastes like traditional homemade ramen is to make it yourself. Because let me explain why. Okay, I watch a video of some white woman. She say, "Oh yeah, I make homemade ramen," and she uses spaghetti noodles. She uses angel hair, pasta, Italian pasta noodle. Oh my god, that shit tastes horrible, man. I try her idea. I listened to her, so I bought some angel hair. No, forget it. Oh, it tastes like shit. Spaghetti Italian pasta cannot be used as ramen. Okay, it's really brittle. It's really hard. Too chewy. You cannot use that as ramen. Okay. And I also try some ramen from Chinese stores. They have these. It's called egg noodles. It's like they look like instant ramen. They come in bricks. They come in bricks, blocks. But then I tried it. It's still very. It's really hard. It's not soft. I didn't like that. It's too hard, too brittle. It sort of tastes like you know Italian pasta. And this is not good. I realized something. Because ramen in traditional Japanese ramen, it's wheat. Okay, it's wheat, and they have to add eggs inside. It's usually 6 cups of wheat and 2 eggs, and then they mix it together. If it's homemade, if it's like freshly handmade, right? Then it's okay. It's not that brittle. But then when you dry that shit, when you try to dry that stuff in a factory, you dry the egg noodle, and then you try to sell it in the market. Oh, it doesn't taste good anymore. You take it home, you cook it, it becomes really brittle. I don't like that. So I'm gonna tell you the only way to make homemade a homemade ramen, okay, at home. Okay, using dry noodle is you have to buy this type of noodle. This is a Shandong noodle. Shandong is China, right? It's this is the brand is Wu Mu Shandong Ramen. It's called Shandong Ramen. Okay, and this is the middle medium. I recommend medium or wide, and it looks like this. It looks like this. This could be one for me. This is like one serving, one bowl of ramen, one bowl of very delicious ramen. And this thing right here probably will give you what 15 bowls. 15. So I can make 15 bowls of ramen with this. I buy it in store. It costs like what $8. But if you want to buy this online, yeah, it's quite expensive. If you want to buy this online, it's shipping included, like $13, $14. It's 4 pounds. But trust me, this thing tastes very, very similar to what you get in the ramen store. Once you cooked it, right? Because what happened is this is white noodle. This doesn't have eggs. It doesn't have egg inside. They don't add eggs inside. So I guess the texture is a lot more soft. So even if you put it's a lot more soft. So it works. It works for ramen. So far that's probably the best homemade ramen I've ever tasted. Unless you want to hand make it yourself. You buy a pasta machine. Those pasta, those machines that you can roll it. It rolls dough into slices. Into like I don't know what you call it, sheets, right? And then you roll again to cut the sheets into noodles. Unless you want to make it yourself at home, but see, I can't do that. I live by myself, right? I only eat like one bowl of ramen a day. I can't do shit like that. You have a whole family. If you have a whole family, yeah, you could make homemade ramen at home. But most people, I assume most people wouldn't be able to, hand make ramen at home. But yeah, that's what I want to say. And also, if you want to make ramen in a hurry, right? This is hondashi. Yeah, just add this inside your water. Add this plus some soy sauce, plus some sesame oil. That's it. Then you get instant, okay, soup base. You get instant soup base. It's not the best soup base in the world, but you get instant soup base. I mean, you feel like you bought it in store or something. And also, you know how ramen you have to make chashu, right? The pork, they it's like pork belly, right? They round it up and then they wrap it up and they boil it, and it just takes a long time. And also, I think it's not very healthy, because you boil that thing, that pork belly has skin on it, right? And it has a lot of fat on it. Ugh. It's not healthy. What I do is this: I just buy some pork butt. You can go to a supermarket, buy like a whole chunk of pork butt for like $17. And then you cut it into pieces, and then you boil it in water. Just boil that shit in water. Boil like for an hour, and then take it out and let it dry. Let it cool, and then you get stuff like this. Yeah, it works. It works. And then when you want to eat ramen, just cut a few slices and then put on top of your noodle. It works. You know. So basically, these are just my trick. For if you're a white guy, if you're a white person who really want to eat traditional homemade ramen. I mean, those Japanese traditional ramen at home, and you don't want to use instant noodle, then this is exactly what you use. You have to buy this noodle. Okay, Wumu. It's called Wumu noodle. you got to buy this. And I recommend medium to wide. I don't recommend. They also sell the angel hair. I don't recommend that. It's either medium or wide. Okay, and you will be able to eat something very very close to traditional Japanese ramen. But anyway, that's my take. I hope you enjoyed my video. Yeah, please subscribe. Thanks. Thanks for watching.